All right, hey AP. This is going to be kind of like your first project or first continuous project that you'll be starting this semester. And this is the semester long canvas. So ultimately what's going to happen is you're going to be given an 11 by 14 stretched canvas today. Now, all of this week, or pretty much the rest of this week, you're going to just kind of add a base layer or heavily dive into your canvas, just depending on kind of if you know what route you're wanting to go. Now, you have all semester on this, and this is kind of expected to be your project that you jump back to whenever you finish what you're working on. So don't think you have to really accomplish pretty much everything this week. This is not going to be due until pretty much right before we leave for winter break. So I put on here it will not be due until the last week of class, specifically, fall semester. So I really want you to take your time. So you're going to work on this during your spare time. Like I said, when you need a break from a project or when you need to finish a project early or when you finish a project early. Wow. And then there are seriously no other requirements. So you might be asking, what in the world am I supposed to create? It is completely up to you. My intention for this project is for you to kind of use it as your like creative vomit. I know that's not the best word to use, but essentially I just want you to use this canvas to experiment on for the duration of the semester. So if you want to sew into this canvas, if you want to completely disassemble this canvas and cut it up and create it into something new, you are more than welcome to. This does not have to stay as a canvas with paint on it, genuinely. I would like for you to throw things on it. Yeah, that's essentially it. Just kind of create, honestly, just anything outside of a traditional painting. Make it special, make it unique. Now, you guys have just learned about your portfolio, should have watched the video the day before. So if you want to use this as a part of your selected works, keep that in mind. Just remember your selected works is pretty much like your best of the best. It has nothing to do with your sustained investigation. So you don't have to have like this overall arching theme if you don't want it to have that. So anyway, I put down some kind of tips if you want to. I said try laying down a base of color. It can be objective or non-objective. See what shapes you find in the background. Kind of like what we did in Art 2, where you guys did like the line exercise where you just kind of created based off the lines I gave you. You can definitely take that route. That kind of helps you create like this most random, unique piece. And then this is what I'm like, throw some different mediums in there, throw some charcoal, pastels, see what happens. Experiment, experiment, experiment. Like I said, you can cut into this, sew into it. The world is your oyster in this project. Be inspired by your fellow peers. You guys are going to be alongside of each other all year. And I want you guys to collaborate and kind of bounce ideas off of each other. And then this can be abstract or it can be a representational piece. So I said this can be abstract or focus on a specific person, place, or thing. Just don't let your subject prevent you from adding to your piece. So pretty much what I'm saying is don't fall in love with it right off the bat. Be willing to change it. Here are some works of art that pretty much I found on the internet, and another teacher did on this project as well. So adding layers. In this case, you can see that they added gold leaf and newspaper, and it looks like Mod Podge or like some kind of clear, like cellophane, honestly. And like I said, you can go abstract. or you can go representational. Sorry, I need to talk about these. Think about line and color. Think about your principles and elements of art. Think about creating a sense of movement within your piece, which you guys do already. And then think about texture and think about space. And then think about if you want this to be representational or figurative or non-figurative. And then think experimentation. I really want you to hone in on this one. Like I said, this is going to be kind of like your artistic creative vomit that you're just throwing and trying everything out on this canvas. Like for instance, if you're working on your sustained investigation and you want to experiment with something and you don't want to experiment on your piece just yet, you could always throw it on to this project. So this is pretty much inspired by the artist Gustav Klimt. I wear a little, pin on my lanyard, and it has one of his artworks on it, and you'll see which one I'm about to show you. But he is very well known for his golden phase, and he really focused on the female anatomy. He's also an Austrian artist and became a prominent member in Vienna. Yeah, he's very known for kind of having like an assemblage and a collage and all these different patterns within his work. And he's very well known for the kiss. So this is the little pin that I wear on my lanyard. This is his most iconic and well-known works. So this is kind of where he's kind of throwing in a mix and match of things such as pattern and creating texture within his work. And then, like I said, he's really prominent in this kind of golden era. So a lot of his works have gold leaf and gold in them. And then here's another one. These are just some tips that I want you to really consider moving forward in this project, just because it could potentially be a part of your selected works. And that is to take project pictures of your piece, or it can become a sustained investigation, who knows. If you hit a point where you're satisfied, make sure to photograph that point, just in case you continue to add and are less satisfied later. It's okay to take long breaks and come back if there's a bunch of projects in between, and then you finally come back to it. That's perfectly fine. Just make sure you have it done by the end of the semester. And then last but not least, have fun and experiment. I'm going to go back to this example here. Experiment, experiment, experiment. This is supposed to be, honestly, the most creative and unique piece that you might come up with all semester. Anyway, that is the semester-long Canvas project. You should receive your Canvas today with some instructions on it. And I wish you guys the best. Have fun creating.